All right. So Scott Freshman, COO of Visionary Solutions. Scott, first of all, I want to congratulate you and your company for winning a 2021 NSCA Excellence in Product Innovations Awards for the PacketAV Duet Wallplate Encoder with Bluetooth. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks. It's really special for us, and we really appreciate NSCA's recognition of our efforts.
Absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the product, just so folks know what we're talking about?
Sure. It's a AV over IP wall plate with an HDMI input and Bluetooth to Dante audio embedding and de-embedding. So we can take Bluetooth audio and embed that on the HDMI for the AV over IP. We can also send that audio as Dante on the same LAN port, basically. I actually have one of them here, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second.
But yeah, well, along those lines, can you talk a little bit about how this may be particularly applicable for the NSCA community, which of course are integrators?
Sure. A few years back, some of the consulting firms were asking us about wallplate form factor in AV over IP. And it turns out that as AV over IP is displacing and replacing HD-based-T and fixed matrix switching technology for audio and video, the market has become accustomed to the many HD-based-T endpoints that are available on the market today. And those HD-based-T form factors, there's many wall plates, HDMI, HD-based-T extension wall plates. And as AV over IP is displacing that technology, the market has become accustomed to those form factors, and they want wall plate form factors in their extension products. So it turns out it's been very difficult to achieve an HDMI over IP wall plate form factor for many manufacturers because AV over IP codecs take more power and therefore more heat than an HD-based-T extension product. With AV over IP replacing and displacing HD-based-T, the market expects to continue to use those form factors that they've been accustomed to. Wallplate is very important. Again, how our product in particular benefits the integrators is in so many ways, but one in particular is that we've made a lot of effort to design this to fit inside of a US electrical box with no modification. I don't know if you can see that, but
yes,
very few fit inside of a US electrical box mud ring with no modification. We've been hearing about other products on the market, wallplate products, even in HD-based-T, where the integrators would have to get into the electrical box with a Dremel tool and grind that out so it would fit, and that increases the labor and therefore reduces the profitability of the job for the integrator. So we also have a very cool 45-degree Ethernet connector on the wall plate, so we can come in from any direction in the electrical box and meet the bend radius requirements for the CAT cable that we're using to connect to it. Another cool feature of the wall plate is that we're doing video and Dante and control all over a single LAN port. So we have the capability to do internal VLAN tagging for that traffic, so we can separate the video traffic and the Dante traffic using VLAN tagging on over this single LAN port, and that becomes really important as you're doing Dante audio and JPEG 2000 video on the same network. It's just a best practice to separate that traffic, and very few are doing VLAN tagging internally on their LAN ports.
Oh, very cool. Now, Scott, I want to tell you, this year's EPI awards were maybe it's because of the pandemic, but we got a ton of companies that submitted products to be evaluated by our panel. And our panel, by the way, of judges are NSCA's Emerging Technologies Committee. So these are folks that, we know from the NSCA community, integrators who, are very forward thinking and, kind of help us to set a tone for where we think technology should be going as an industry. So I think it's a big deal that you guys won the overall product winner this year. So congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. We're honored to receive the award, and it's great to be recognized for the work that we're doing.